Good weekend, my dear. Today we are going to make the Chinese chive pancake, also known as the chive pocket. Traditionally, it is served as a breakfast in China. However, it could be served as a nice appetizer, lunch, or dinner, even as a holiday treat. Without further ado, let's get started. The main ingredient of today is Chinese chive for the filling. Before preparing for the filling, however, let's set up the dough first. We need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a cup of water filled with yeast, dried yeast, as well as brown sugar, and the water should be around 160 Fahrenheit degree, warm water, not hot. Pour the mixture into the all-purpose flour. I use chopstick or any spatulas to put it into small pieces and then just knead the dough. Once you finish kneading the dough, remember to add a little bit cooking oil on top of it and keep kneading. The oil is very, very important because otherwise it could get into stick into the pan when you fry the pancake. Put it aside. It's typically going to take 2 to 3 hours for it to rise. Meanwhile, let's prepare for the filling. Cut off the top or the end of the chive because it could have lots of rotten spot or bacteria in there, and then just cut it into very, very as small as possible that you could. Chop it, and do not use food processors, is because somehow you want that mixture, that texture to be still in there. So if it's too smashed, it's not good. And then the next thing is we're going to cut the shrimp. You just chop it. This time you can definitely use a food processor if you have one, but for me, my knife is my treasure. Always just chop, chop, chop. So I fast played this piece so I don't bore you through the video. Cut, cut, cut. And put the shrimp together with the ground turkey. Add salt in there, cooking wine. Remember to check the amount of the ingredients down in the description. And then the light soy sauce. Grind a little bit black pepper. Anytime I cook shrimp, black pepper is a must, or fish sometimes. And just mix it. You bet it is the same direction. You roll it, you mix it the same direction. And then add the cooking oil and stir it the same direction again so that it become attached together and then you just mix the egg, or scramble the egg. Put a heated pan with oil in there, but make sure it's not too hot. And this is the trick. Don't make the pan or the oil too hot. Just make it a little bit warm. You add the egg in. Why? Because we need to make the kind of like mushy egg. It's the small pieces you need. You don't need a whole fried egg or pancake or omelette type of egg. You need a small mushy type of eggs for the filling. So don't make the oil or the pan too hot, and use medium heat. A little bit patient, and you just keep stirring. This way the egg will be turned into small pieces by itself. And some people actually just make an omelette and then cut it later on. I found it sometimes the texture is very hard, so my preferred way is this way that I'm teaching you here and showing you here. You see it's all small pieces, and then I switch to a spatula. I cut it a little bit further to make it even smaller, kind of like you're making grounded egg. Just my terminology. Once it's ready, you just shovel it out, put it aside, and let it cool a little bit. And this is our chopped chive, and put the grounded turkey and the shrimp, whatever we have done before, mixed together with the chive, put it aside, And then this is where the egg come in. This is a version that I put it down a little bit already. You can leave it a little bit heat in there just to mix with the chive, so the chive is kind of like halfway cooked even before you fried it. Add salt again, um, because the egg or the chive doesn't really have any salt in there. And then we just mix same direction again. I always use the clockwise. You could do counterclock, whichever way you prefer, but make sure it's one single direction so the filling can stick together. All right, this is the trick. My number 4 egg, I'm actually putting the raw one in there. The same purpose is this way. When the filling comes out is one piece. It all sticks together instead of separated. Mix well. At this time, you can actually smell the filling. It's so nice. All right, let's roll the dough. This is the boring daunting piece, so I always just show you a little bit. You need to roll it, add a little bit, about 1 teaspoon baking soda to the rice flour already. The dough, rice dough, that's what I meant. And then you just keep rolling until it no longer sticks to your hands. That means it's ready. Cut it into half and make a kind of like a stick of 1 inch in diameter. You could make it larger, to be honest. Don't make cooking a science. It is an art. You can have your own style. If you make the little piece larger, you make your stick a little bit larger, you cut your piece larger, then your pancake is larger. That's about it. Nothing wrong with it. But for me, I like the size of about 1 inch in diameter piece and about 2 centimeters thick. Cut it into the same size. One thing though, you should make your pancake the same size. Otherwise, when you fry it, it's very hard to control. As long as they are the same size, it's your art that you are painting. And roll it. One hand is turning the dough. The other hand is rolling. You can use both hands to roll it. That works too. But it's just me. I've got used to it. I always do this way. It's faster. And so as you see that my wrap is a little bit bigger than the typical dumpling wrap that I make. Because this is a pocket, this is a pancake. Make it a little bit bigger. The center is always thicker so that the filling is gonna be safe in there when you fry it. It's not gonna stick out. Okay, put some filling in there and flatten it. Use your spoon. Almost take half of the wrap. That's about the good amount. Then you just flip the other half of the wrap, squeeze the end of it and make it. Now this is your pocket, right? That's why it's called pocket. Chive Pocket is so that it can the filling is inside. Now this is just to make it more beautiful. You use the side of your thumb, push the dough inside to make it more beautiful. This step can be skipped, and I'm so sorry that my hand is off my camera. I didn't realize that. We're gonna make another one right after this one. Yeah, here's the final product. All right, let's try another one. Put the filling and to take about half of your wrap, and you make it even, flattened. And the edge, you press the edge, make sure it's stick together, so when you fry the pocket or the pancake, it's not going to open. And make sure when you squeeze the side, when you make it beautiful, you start from the end, not the top. So this is the wrong way. So the right way is here, the end, so that when you squeeze the next time, it always kind of like how do I say, overlap with the previous one, so it's beautiful. Not stop from the top, not start from the top, but start from the end and push forward, and push forward. And here's your final product. It's very beautiful. You do need to practice a little bit. It looks easy, but it does require a little bit of practice. However, the last step is not required. Now, once we're done rolling, squeezing, all of that, we have all of our pancakes ready to fry. So put some oil, about 2 tablespoons for 4 pancakes, into that heated pan. This time you gotta make sure your pan is fully heated until you can feel the heat coming out of the oil. So I always use my hand to test it. If you have a thermostat, that you can use that one, I guess. But you're gonna laugh at me because I don't know the temperature. I always use my hand until that I can feel the heat. I drop the temperature, drop the heat to medium level. So when I heated up the pan and the oil, I use the highest level, but then I drop to the medium level. And then you put the pancake in. Don't move it for about 5 seconds. This is the trick. And don't move it. Of course, if you have a non-stick pan, that always helps, but I don't like the chemical in those pans. I like my stainless steel version, so it does require a little bit technique. So once all 4 in, you move them around a little bit. Medium heat once again. Do not use the highest. For about 2 minutes, you flip it. Look at that color, that golden brown color, so beautiful. Flip it around and frying for about 1 more or 1.5 minutes until the other side is turning the same beautiful golden brown color. Then the chive pocket is about to be ready. I did a little bit tricky. Sometimes I fry the middle a little bit because my mom always warned me to say that make sure your chive is all cooked and there's no raw chive in there. So I always do this trick. You don't have to. The 4-minute time or 3.5 minutes is enough. Once it's done, what we're gonna do is we just shovel it out and put it into a beautiful dish decorated. I decorated for your vision a little bit, and then this is the one with the open inside. It's so tasty. Even the video and the picture are not really doing the justice. I promise you. Try it at home. I hope that you enjoy this appetizer or holiday treat, whatever you call it. Enjoy. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.